The rash of car thefts in Milwaukee has been called an epidemic. Kias and Hyundais have been the main targets because of something the automakers didn't do when making the vehicles likely to save money. The first class action lawsuit brought against Kia and Hyundai due to the crime wave was done so by a Milwaukee law firm in 2021. A year later, more than 60 other class action lawsuits in multiple states have been filed, leading to the consolidation into one massive class action lawsuit that played out in California, where the two automakers are based here in the U.S.
And just 2 weeks ago, Kia and Hyundai, they waved the white flag. They agreed to settle the suit for $200 million.
Tonight, I sit down with James Barton, the Milwaukee attorney who decided he had enough with the car thefts wreaking havoc on his city. Stealing cars, that's certainly not a new crime.
No.
But 2 years ago, I mean, the rate of cars being stolen in the city of Milwaukee just absolutely skyrocketed. When did you guys first start thinking something bigger is going on here?
It was, almost 2 years ago to the date, Stephanie. It started in May, June of 2021. I had some friends of the firm that had their car stolen, and one was a Kia, one was a Hyundai. And so when we started looking into this, all of a sudden you're like, whoa, how are thefts of Kias and Hyundais up 2,500%?
Were stolen car cases your law firm's bread and butter before all of this?
No, we're not a stolen vehicle law firm. I'm not an auto mechanic by trade. No one in our firm is. But we went down to the junkyard and we got some, ignition assemblies of Kias and Hyundais to figure out what was the common theme about that. And we did a ton of research. Kia and Hyundai didn't install immobilizer technology, which has been ubiquitous in the automotive industry since the mid-1990s.
Is it required?
It's not required by NHTSA. In the EU, it's been required since, I think, 2000 or 2001. In Canada, it's been required since 2007. It's required, I believe, in Australia as well.
Why do you think it's not required here?
NHTSA said we can't. And the reason we can't is because our charge, when we create these federal motor vehicle safety standards, is their minimum performance standards, okay? We can't impose design criteria.
Does any agency have a statutory authority to mandate something like this?
Not necessarily immobilizers.
So is there any required mandate for airbags, per se?
There are, but they're minimum performance standard. But what ultimately happened is, your VIN in your car, right? That also appears on your doors and on your engine block and on your transmission. And it was passed in the early 80s as another means to prevent auto theft. NHTSA said that, look, all vehicles have to, comply with this parts marking requirement. But if you take steps to install something like an immobilizer that, in our opinion, will do a better job at preventing thefts, then you don't have to comply with the parts marking requirement. And virtually every manufacturer followed suit and made immobilizer standard across various vehicle lines except Kia and Hyundai.
You never got into, was this a cost-cutting measure or anything like that?
The average cost to comply with the parts marking requirement was $6 a vehicle, give or take. Whereas the cost to implement immobilizer technology could range from $200 to $500 a vehicle. Well, we can do the math, right? You multiply that out by a couple million vehicles, well, there you go. It's pretty immense cost savings.
You said that this was really just a case of common sense. Can you explain that?
There was a kid that steals one of these cars, gets in a high-speed chase with the cops, and he's driving down Good Hope Road going westbound. He's going 90 miles an hour in oncoming traffic and just smokes another car head on. And that's when it really hit me. My nanny takes that road all the time, oftentimes with my children in the car.
And that's what pushed you over the edge?
Yeah, and no one was doing anything about it. So we said, okay, fine. Kia and Hyundai, you want to pick a fight? Well, pick a fight with us. Let's go.
Have you ever taken a case like this before?
In terms of the profound effect this has had on our community and why we really did this, no, I haven't taken on a case like this before. It's been very, very rewarding, but this isn't about notching W's for our firm. We did it for the fact that this is, it was an existential crisis and still is. We're still getting calls about people that are getting their cars stolen left and right. And thank goodness that help is on the way. Again, like you said, the wheels of justice turn slowly sometimes, right? They do. But we're getting there, and that feels really, really good. That if we did our part to help make our community safer, then, that feels great.
Right now, the $200 million settlement is in the preliminary approval process. Part of that money will be used to install an upgrade on any affected models to essentially make it harder to steal the vehicles akin to an immobilizer. The other part is monetary relief for consumers who had their vehicles stolen. The final settlement is expected to be approved by early next year. Now, if you have a Kia or a Hyundai and don't know if you're affected by this, call your local dealership. They'll be able to direct you to the appropriate people and resources. And the faster these vehicles can get in to get fixed, the harder they are to steal, which of course in turn will undoubtedly make our streets safer.
It's sad, but our city invented the Kia Boys. It started right here. And it wasn't really until this became a nationwide thing that the word got out that it seems like the car makers finally said, if this was just a Milwaukee problem, it seems like the car makers didn't care so much. But now that the word's gotten out, it seems like they care.
Yeah, we were certainly ground zero for this, but this is impacting thousands, tens of thousands of people all across the country.
And you heard the lawyer say it. We're still in it. So a lot of people have been affected by this. Great conversation. Steph, thanks.